Hello, everyone. I hope you have been enjoying this Elevate Your Value Summit as much as I have. Haven't the speakers been dynamic? You know, I definitely want to take this opportunity to thank the visionary, Dr. Elizabeth Carter, for this wonderful opportunity and this platform to not only share how we elevate our value, but how we can help you to do the same. Oh my goodness. So Dr. Elizabeth, to you and your amazing team, thank you so very much. I am Lisa Yvette Jones. I am that Chief Encouragement, Inspirational, and Empowerment Coach, Counselor, and Consultant, best-selling author, and international speaker. I am also the proud CCO, the Chief Caring Officer of I Care Leadership, where I aid professional women in maximizing their leadership influence, caring about themselves, cultivating that authentic relationship to empower themselves, and all while walking alongside of them in their health care success. Yes, because a leader's life matters too. You know, I had to really come to the realization of how important that was for me. In 2009, it started off like any other year. You know how we're going to do it. We're going to the gym. We're going to exercise. We are changing our diet January 1st. Oh my goodness. And then by January 15th, oh, it's a thing of the past, right? Well, at least for a lot of people. At least that's what studies show. And for those of you who are still on that journey, congratulations to you, and that it was more than a resolution, but it was actually an elevation in the value that you have for your life, and that it was not a resolution, but it was a change of life. So kudos to you if you're still going. But you know how the majority of us do. And then February came. February 2009 came. And it was a tragic time for us because my mother, our dear mother, suffered a mild stroke. But you know what? Our mother came through that. She really did. She is now resting in heaven, but it wasn't because of the stroke. It was years later from that. Then April came, and you know how it is when we're caring for the love of our family and caring for loved ones. We become that caregiver, and then there are times when we just get lost in that and we forget about ourselves. How many of you are witness to that? Yeah, put that in the chat that you understand. And then while we're caring for others, there are times when we will put ourselves to the side. And we do that not only in our personal lives, but even for those of us who are in leadership positions. There are times when we are pouring so much more into others that we are putting ourselves to the side. Well, in 2009 of April, it was a wonderful time, okay, coming into April, because my mother was coming home after being in the hospital in rehabilitation. It was my birthday coming up on April 12th, and then her birthday on April 18th. So we had so much to celebrate. But listen, I finally said, it's time for me now to give myself a gift. You know, ladies, that gift that we give ourselves every year, that very vulnerable appointment where we have the spotlight that is on us and we are in a very vulnerable position and it's not very comfortable. Yeah, that appointment, also known as the pap smear for those who are not familiar yet, okay? Because I don't know what the age group of everyone who is watching from all over the world, okay? But if you have your teenage daughters or what have you watching, it is known as the pap smear. That appointment is very necessary, okay? And it must be done every year. And I will tell you more about that. So I had that appointment. And then my doctor called me into her office. And she told me that that result from that appointment was abnormal. Well, I didn't know anything more. I didn't think anything more about that. And then I said, well, doctor, why did you have to call me into your office for this? I mean, just, you know, well, whatever that is, let's take care of it. She said, well, that's why I called you in. I said, well, what does it mean? And then she said, it can mean a myriad of things, Lisa. She said, it can mean that, you know, the test was faulted and we would have to redo it. Or she said, we want to rule out what the ultimate of what it could mean. And then she said, so I'm going to send you to a specialist. And she sent me to an obstetrician gynecologist. After I had that visit with that doctor told me to clean up and come into her office. I said, doctor, what do you see? Because you're the second doctor who now wants me to come into your office. I said, do you see cancer? And it just came out. It just came out, everyone. And then she said, it's not that you could see cancer, but we want to rule it out. So when I went into her office, she said, I am going to put you before, I'm going to make you an appointment actually with a gynecologic oncologist. And I said, well, doctor, I know what an oncologist is. It's a cancer doctor. I said, why am I going there? She said, so that we can at least rule out that you don't have it, or we can confirm whether or not you do. She said, and I'm not taking a chance. Well, after 2 appointments with 2 different gynecologic oncologists, I received the news while at work on my lunch break that, Miss Jones, you have been diagnosed with stage 3 cervical cancer, papillary serous carcinoma of the cervix. Now, mind you, I had not one symptom. I had no irregularities. There was nothing happening in my body that I was made aware of until all of those appointments. I was then told that if I did not have that surgery within the next 3 to 7 days, because of how vicious that cancer was, that I would die. They wouldn't even open me up. I am sitting here like, in my intelligent brain, there was no woman in my family that had cancer. So in my intelligent brain, there was no precursor for the cancer. Or was there? You see, back in 2009, I was almost 400 pounds. And so I started to do some research. And yes, the CDC indicated that there are at least 13 major cancers in the United States that has an obesity link. Now, I'm not saying that everyone who is obese will have cancer. Absolutely not. But what I am saying is that there was a direct link. So there was no one in my family who had cancer, who went through cancer or who had it. However, I was then being diagnosed with this deadly disease. So I talked to the doctor. I said, you know, I need some time. I need some time to go into prayer for me, because it's my faith that made me whole. It's my faith that elevates anything that I am going to do in my life. The doctors told me, you don't have much time. They said, Miss Jones, this cancer is so vicious that once it attaches itself to your major organs, we will not even open you up. I said, doctor, I need to take the time. And I took that time. And on the 3rd day, I heard these words, this is not unto death. You shall live and not die, and it will not return again. And on those words of that prognosis from my chief physician, oh my goodness, through those 3 days of fasting and prayer, I heard those words. So I made an appointment, went back to the doctor, and I told the doctor, we do not have to worry about having that surgery in the next 3 to 7 days, or at least now the next 4 days, because you had given me 3 to 7 days before. I said, I have heard from the chief physician, and I shall live and not die. The cancer will not spread, and you can do this surgery on the date that I'm going to give you. Here's one of the nuggets, another nugget. The first one was, keep your yearly appointment, because early detection is the key. I am an ambassador with the American Cancer Society as well. That is one of my community works that I do. And one of the things that we do is we make sure we are out there in the community telling women that early detection is crucial. And even though I had early detection, I was already in stage 3, guys, with no symptoms. You know, they say high blood pressure is the silent killer. Cervical cancer is as well. No symptoms, no irregularities, nothing. But I have the appointments to confirm that diagnosis. Now, I also want you to know, are you listening to the words that I'm saying? I am saying their diagnosis. I never took ownership of the cancer. I'm not in denial that it was there, but I said I never took ownership with my mouth. I never allowed the words to come out of my mouth that I have cancer. No, I never allowed that. I always said I have been diagnosed with it, because the moment I felt that I took ownership of it, then that means that I would have then consumed that, and I would have been caught up in that then looking at my recovery on the other side of it. See, I'd already started seeing myself on the other side of this diagnosis because I had already had the prognosis from my chief physician. So I told the doctor, it will not spread. And here's the thing. I want the surgery on June 29th. June 29th was significant for me for a number of reasons. Our son was going to camp that day, and I picked that date. It was a month and a half out from when the doctors told me that I needed to have the surgery, okay? They told me in mid-May I needed to have that surgery in 3 to 5 days. I told them June 29th. Guess what? The doctor then told me, he said, you won't make it, Miss Jones. He said, you will die. Both doctors, 4 appointments later, 2 gynecologic oncologists, 2 biopsies later, gave me 2 death sentences. But I had one chief physician that gave me the prognosis that I needed. I told the doctors, I highly respect you. I really do. I highly respect you. However, I respect the fact that you have used your skills to give me the diagnosis that I received. Thank you. But I promise you, I am going to live my life based on the prognosis that my chief physician has given me. He said, you keep saying your chief physician. He said, did you go over my head? I said, I went over all of our heads. I went to the chief physician. He then understood. He then, before the Me Too movement, put his arm around my shoulder. He said, Miss Jones, why do I believe I'm going to see you on June 29th? I looked at him and said, Doctor, because you will. He then looked at me in my eyes and he said, you are one stubborn patient. I said, no, doctor, you are looking at one steadfast patient. And I am here for the fight of my life. And I promise you, I shall live and not die. I will see you on June 29th. Well, I'm here to tell you that on June 29th, I saw that doctor and the doctors, the teams that were around me. I had that surgery to remove the physical cancer, but don't you know it had already been done. And I am here. I am still here and I am accounted for. And I am speaking to every one of you out there, leaders. I want you to know that it is important for you to pause and for you to take time for yourself. We are always making decisions on behalf of other people. We are always making decisions that affect the lives of those that are in our care, not only in our family, in our household family, but also in our work life, in our professional families as well. But it is going to be a time when you are going to have to stop and you are going to have to say, I matter too as a leader. Sure, we know that John Maxwell, my mentor, and I'm also a certified John Maxwell coach and trainer and speaker. But let me tell you, he always says that people do not care how much you know until they know how much you care. They are right. He is right. And that is so true. But listen, self-care for leaders is not selfish. It is necessary. So leaders, I say buckle up. It's time to elevate your thoughts. It's time to elevate the process of how you deal with you and yourself as a leader and start elevating your mind to do those things that are going to be crucial for your health, crucial for those that are in your care, crucial so that you will make sure that you can lead from a place of a full cup and you start serving people from your overflow. I'm going to say that again. You serve people from your overflow because your full cup is for you. And don't you forget it. So as your cup becomes depleted, you then have to do everything that it takes to fill your cup. I want to tell you that I have 7 success strategies that I am going to give to you that I believe is going to be crucial for you to get started on that. Are there many more? Absolutely. And if you choose to work with me, I will walk alongside of you to give you additional strategies that has been beneficial to me that I know that will be beneficial to you. So we're going to start with the word success. I want you to write that word vertically down your paper. S.U.C.C.E.S.S. S.U.C.C.E.S.S. And I want you to know that with the first S, success, okay, is self-care. You know, and whatever that means. Yesterday, I took a long drive. I went to a favorite island in our city. And I sat there on the water and I just looked out at the boats and the people who were pedal sailing and the speedboats that were going on and the jet skiing. And I just unwind. I just unwound for the day and I absolutely loved it. It was beautiful. People were fishing. People were barbecuing. I was just in my own world with my own little chair, and it was so wonderful to me. I also stopped and got something very healthy to eat, because you know how it is when we can get out and about, we will buy something that's not healthy. I made sure I stopped and got something very healthy in addition to some fruit, and I then went out and had me a wonderful time of relaxing, relating, and releasing. And whatever it takes for you, some of you love to walk, some of you love to meditate, some of you love to just get in your car and drive, or you like to bike. Whatever it takes for you to self-care, it is totally not selfish. It is necessary. The you in success. The you in success. Update yourself on your numbers. Do you know how much you weigh? Check. Awesome. Do you know what your blood pressure is? Check. Awesome. Do you know what your A1C, your blood sugar levels are? Check. That's awesome. Okay? But for those of you who do not, I need you to know your numbers. It is important that you not run away from the scale. It is important that you not run away from the blood pressure machine. Buy you a portable one if you have to. Most insurances cover it. But if it doesn't, there are opportunities out there, and you can contact me and I can give you more information on that. Make sure you are updated on your numbers. Do you know what your blood type is? Okay? And then when you do update yourself on your numbers, put the date next to it. It is going to be so important that you monitor it. I am not saying become obsessed with it, but monitor it. It was so important for me to know my numbers, because guess what? I told you at the beginning, I was almost 400 pounds, but I'm here to tell you right now, I have released over 200 pounds. Get excited. Oh my goodness. And it's important. I don't weigh myself every day, but at least every week I get on the scale and I know where I am. So I make sure that I know, and I go to my doctor's appointments every 3 months and they check all my vitals. And what I ask is, what was my vitals for this day? What was my vitals for that day? I write them down and I make sure that I'm aware of them. So update yourself on your numbers. And then the first C is care. Cultivate an authentic relationship with yourself. That is the care in my company, my leadership development coaching company, I Care Leadership, cultivating authentic relationships to empower. Not only is that important for those that are in your care, it is important for you to cultivate an authentic relationship with yourself. All the care that you put into others, find a way to put that into yourself. Find a way to make sure that you are making sure that you know what you love, making sure that you know what you like, and being unapologetic about it. It's okay to do things by yourself. Sometimes we think we have to have a crowd. I love going to the art museum and loving the arts. Oh my goodness, I don't need anyone else with me. I can go to dinner by myself. It is wonderful. I can go and just unwind. But what I want you to do is to know what it takes for you to cultivate that authentic relationship with you and be unapologetic about it. Put people on notice, okay? You don't have to ask for permission to do that. Just put people on notice about it. Then the second C is to calendar time for yourself. You know, before this event, my calendar went off, okay, in my phone. I heard a little ding. I heard a ding for an appointment. I heard a ding for another appointment. I heard a ding for a Zoom call that I was supposed to be on. Everything is dinging for everything else. But how many times is your phone dinging and pinging for you, for the things that you have set up for you? Even if it's you to just take a nap, you know that you're going to cut off everything and I'm going to take a nap at this time. Do that, okay? And then the E, lead by example. Lead by example, okay? This is what is so powerful. People have seen my weight transition. They have. There are times when I will have the power of suggestion on my desk by placing a piece of fruit on the corner of my desk. People will walk past and see it and go, you know what, Lisa, that's a great reminder. I need to eat my fruit. I need to do this. I need to do that. You know what? Elevate. elevate your thought process on who matters first, and you matter first. This is the Elevate Your Value Summit. Learn how to have value in you and all that you do. Oh my goodness, for you. Because self-care for leaders is not selfish. It is truly necessary. And then I want you to look at that second S. I want you to shift. Okay, just take that slight change, whatever it will take for you to make that shift. Start here mentally first, because everything we do starts in the mind. The mind is a workshop. The mind will either tell you you can't do it, or it will tell you that you can. And guess what? They're both right. You have to then choose which one you are going to go with. And I tell you, go with the one that is going to make you take that shift to elevate your life to success. I'm telling you, it is going to be so powerful. You are looking at me. I am excited because I am a living, breathing, walking, talking, moving miracle woman of God. And I am so excited about it. And I want you to be excited about it. And then that last S in success, I didn't forget, is start today. Start today. Why not now? Whatever it takes. You can make a shift on, getting rid of 1 cup of coffee and changing it, okay, for a bottle of water. It doesn't matter. Whatever it takes for you to make sure that you self-care. Update yourself on your numbers, okay? Care, cultivate that authentic relationship to empower yourself. And when you calendar yourself, then you know you are intentional about doing those things. Lead by example to elevate your value, elevate the value of you as you are doing that for others. Okay, make sure you do that. Make that shift today and start now. Start today. God bless each and every one of you. I am Lisa Yvette Jones. I can be found on all social media under Lisa Yvette Jones. I would love to work with you. God bless each and every one of you. Enjoy the rest of the conference. Have a great one, everyone. Self-care for leaders is not selfish. It is necessary. Bye-bye, everyone.